But yeah, the struggle of failure, to know that you're working, you're working on something. You've decided that you're going to invest in something mentally, emotionally, hell, even spiritually, and it very well might not even pan out the way that you anticipate.
Roll me, Mac.
What drains your energy? Well, I'll start with myself, my own self-doubt, my own negative thoughts, my own self-sabotaging traits, I'm just being honest with myself on it. I'd say definitely people projecting their insecurities onto me, and in ways that and truth be told, they don't even know that they're doing it, because I didn't even know I was doing it. But definitely people projecting their insecurities onto you in ways, in the sense that they want you to fix them. As far as them sharing their insecurities, that's a different ballgame. That's more like patient. I'm not a therapist by any means. Give all credit to those that actually do that. But what I'm saying is, to me, I believe the best listener is when we portray ourselves like a therapist does with their patient. Like, you don't make anything about you just listen. So to be able to just listen to a friend, a colleague, whatever it is, just say what they got going on, how their insecurities. But if they turn to you to kind of like, I want you to fix my life type thing, that's when it becomes draining. And they look to you as it's your responsibility. No, these are your things. You make these choices in life. So this is something you have to live with, and you're strong enough to live with it. And it wasn't until I was in that very same scenario, to where I was the person that was trying to get people to fix my life, where I could understand that. And but that, I would say, that definitely I find to be draining. Another thing draining is to get I say negative, just folks that's constantly speaking in the negative. They don't look for things to be right. They look for things to be wrong. That's more of their focus. They're quick to point out something that is imperfect, something that is negative. That they've chosen that's their personality. They're going to be the one to just point out essentially the negatives in just about everything. So that to me, I find to be draining, and just the mentality of just being around people that have just decided that life is not fair and I should have a better life. Just that mentality, definitely draining. The unhappy, the unlucky, where he's definitely feeling as if life is just not fair, and I should have these things. No, we're not entitled to anything. None of us are. None of us are entitled to shit. And that's, I believe, where I know that's where I fucked up with myself, was this entitlement that I had for a lot of things throughout my life prior to now, and it didn't go my way. It didn't, and I threw an adult tantrum inside and outside sometimes. But the draining is just that right there, just humans that carry themselves where they want people to be responsible for their emotions. They don't know how to manage their own emotions, so they project that onto others, and that is draining. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for a child. Like, if you're under 18 and give or take, you're still trying to find yourself through college and stuff like that, that's all right. But when you get to like 40, 50, 60, and you're still having people you still got people managing your emotions, whether that be your children are trying to manage their emotions. They've been managing your emotions since they were younger. It's not effective. It's not effective. That's people-pleasing training. For some of us, that was people-pleasing training, where we had to cater to your emotions as far as how you felt versus you catering to us from parent to child. You know, I believe it's effective where the parent is concerned about the child's emotions and feelings versus the child being having to walk on eggshells and be focused on the parent's emotions. But that right there is very draining. That's for damn certain. That is very draining. And to also another thing that just drains energy to me is like certain music these days. For me, like, it's only so much a particular type of music that I will like listen to. If it's easy listening or something that's very common on the mind, I'm more inclined to listen to that versus that of like, you know, the heavy metals, some of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like the hard ass hip hop is loud, you know, shit like that. It tends to, I find it to be lowering my vibration. You know what I mean? So I like to listen to things and do things that kind of raise my vibrations. And what I found is that all those songs and music I used to probably make fun of as a kid, but like the meditation music, it all makes sense now. And you know, so I listen to like a lot of piano, jazz, instrumentals, classical, those things kind of like, you know, when I'm trying to concentrate, that is, you know what I'm saying? But like if I'm like, for instance, you know, this past weekend I was able to return to the beach and read a little bit. You know, I haven't done that in a minute, but I was able to get there and I played whatever, you know, everything, you know what I'm saying? You can never, you know, you wasn't able to put me in a box that day or ever, but I was listening to pretty much everything. And, you know, it's just, some stuff was very, you know, nostalgic. Some things I remember from high school, some things from middle school, some things remember, you know, my pops playing when we would come home from church. But yeah, like certain music I find to be draining, you know, drains my energy. It's like it's too loud. I feel like I'm not able to think while I'm listening to it. I tend to not want to play it, but for so long, I'm not gonna say I don't play it at all, but definitely where I find it to be clouding my judgment, clouding my you know, my thought process and all that stuff, then, you know, I'll switch to either silence or, you know, something that's probably like easy listening. Draining. Worrying about shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's draining. You know, I have no control over it. I'm trying to control a person. That is draining. We don't have it. We don't have that ability to do that. I'm not able to control what another person does, thinks, or whatever. But for whatever reason, you know, trauma has taught us to try to do it. And we try to control the folks around us. And the more we try to control, the more stress that we bring upon our life. And it's just like remembering what the Stoics have taught, to focus on what's in your control. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not able to change that person's attitude, but I can change my response to their attitude. I can change the fact that I'm even around them. I can remove myself. They're going to continue to do what they're doing, and that's what they've chosen to do for whatever reason. Whatever pain they got going on inside, they're just projecting that out. So it's a choice for me to stay around that. But if I don't want to be around it, I can remove myself. Now, some of us that like in the situations where maybe it's you're growing up in a family and you're not able to move out yet, or if you're at a job and stuff like that and you're not able to escape it, you can tune shit out and choose what you respond to. But that's what I find to be, you know, like draining. Just being around, like I said, that negative energy, it doesn't bode well. You know, I don't believe it bodes well for any of us. You know what I'm saying? It's like just asking, how do you feel when you get around this person? Like when you know that you're about to be around this person, do you kind of clench up? Do you kind of prepare yourself for some bullshit that they're gonna, you know, that you anticipate them projecting today? And, you know, commonly that type of energy I try to stay away from. I try to go around, I tend to associate and engage with people that I look forward to talking to them. You know what I'm saying? I look forward to the energy that they're going to bring because they're sails, not anchors, you know? And, but that's great, like anchors drain your energy like a motherfucker. Like you get around them and they just suck the soul out of you. They just have this Eeyore effect about themselves. And of course, you know, we know that the people that need love the most ask for it in the most unloving ways. However, healthy boundaries is essential for me. And I'm not going to come around you if I do know that you're into tearing other people down. tearing yourself down, thus tearing, other people down, man. And because there's enough life, to go around. There's enough life to go around that I don't have to focus on you. I don't have to tear you down. I can just continuously build it myself and work on whatever on me, focus on improving myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I to talk about you? You know what I mean? Like, I'm loaded and I'm loaded in flaws. So let me focus on my house. You know what I'm saying? Let me focus on my burning house, versus trying to, start the fires on yours. I'm gonna focus on, putting out the fire at my house first. You know what I'm saying? And, but yeah, I'd say my, like I said in the beginning, like my own negative, traits, mindsets, trauma responses, like, triggers and all that stuff. I find that to be draining, and just working at that. So my own negative energy, my own self-sabotaging ways, and just looking at things in a negative, like I said, in a negative, through a negative lens, and more so out of fear, not so much through love, and doing my best to try to look at life through love versus fear. But we're, like, we're human, but it's just it's a work in progress to continuously do that. But for anybody that does feel like, life is negative, sending a positive and healing energy to you. But those are my thoughts on what drains my energy. What pain or struggle are you willing to sustain in your life? I'm willing to struggle and go through the pains of achieving goals in life. Like, I understand that I'm fine the way I am. You know what I mean? But as far as, like, just for my life purpose, achieving goals, the things that I set out for myself, I'm willing to sustain whatever that means that comes with it. Whether that's people leaving, moving on from their life with me. I'm willing to sustain that. I've accepted that role a long time ago, and I understood what the path was going to be before me. I'm willing to sustain, whatever it is that comes up, if it means obtaining things. There must be struggle. From what I learned from a lot of, say, male mentors, masculine male mentors, is that there must be a struggle. There has to be a struggle. Now, you don't have to focus on the negatives, obviously, from what we just talked about in the previous topic, but you don't have to focus on the negative, but understand that there's going to be challenge. There's going to be things that you're not going to be it's not going to be so simple to deal with. And you are to stay with it. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly. So just keep at it until you get it, and be comfortable with failure. Right? I think that's the pain, the struggle of failure, the pain of failure. That's another way of putting it. I'm willing to fail at what I'm doing, if it means obtaining the goal in the end, however long it takes. Stubborn, very, very stubborn, very determined, very ambitious, very much focused. Creature of habit to some degree, as far as rituals and standards go. But if it means improving, I'm all about it. I'm all about that. So, the pain of letdown, man. The pain of hell, even the pain and the struggles of betrayal, because it's my understanding that that's part of the journey, and being able to just take it in the sense of like a more fati though, you know what I mean? Like not having any expectations, any entitlement, and doing your best to manage your ego, is, you know, having no ego in situations where you just accept things as they are and realizing that nothing anyone does is about you. Even if, you know, some parts of you sometimes can believe love is about possession, and love is actually about appreciation. So the love you give to people has nothing to do with the love or the actions in which they, you know, do towards you. But it is up to us to decide what we want in our life, you know. So, but yeah, the struggle of failure, to know that you're working, you know, you're working on something. You've decided that you're going to invest in something mentally, emotionally, hell, even spiritually, you know, and it very well might not even pan out the way that you anticipate. But you're going to burn the boats behind you. Either way, you've decided that I'm not going to stop until I achieve the goal, somehow, some way. Learn, and definitely learn along the way, as far as things along the way that can help you, and be able to listen, and be able to filter through criticism too. Definitely filter criticism as very, very big. You know, especially if you had a fragile ass ego, being able to filter through what's being said. Where's it coming from? Is it coming from a place of love, or is this person genuinely has a hatred for you? Whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? Being able to manage how that feels. Because when you decide to do what's best for you, you're gonna piss a lot of people off, man. You're gonna really piss a lot of people off, and you're gonna find out how many people felt like they had control over you and loved that control. And when you start doing shit for yourself and you see how they respond to you. But you have your own life. You have your own life to live. You know what I mean? And for those people that felt like they had control over it, it's just fear. You know, they're human. They were living in fear. But have the courage, man. Have the courage to go after whatever it is that you're going after in life, even if you're the only one that can see it. It's not meant for others to understand all the time, but be willing to fail. Have that courage to fail at whatever it is you want to do. If you're a little kid and you have this idea, I'm going to the NBA, I'm going to play a professional sport, and the people around you are saying, yeah, right, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, focus though. Find out, as you know, Jim Rohn, who I love to quote on this show quite often, he talks about find out the ingredients of what you're trying to do, and just keep out the wrong ingredients along the way. So the distraction, the naysayers, all of that, that's not part of the recipe that you're trying to make for yourself. Anything that is not a part of the recipe for your goal or whatever you're trying to do, eliminate that shit. You know, there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of things that are going to come in, that attempt to come in the way of what you're attempting to do. And it is going to take a lot of brain power, you know, managing your emotions of what you respond to, what you allow to get to you, who you allow to get to you, and the power of indifference. Yes, the power of indifference. Because focus. Just focus. Focus on what you're working towards. And I say again, be willing to fail. Be okay with failure. And know that you're still lovable after you fail. You'll still be fine. You'll still be lovable, you know. But having that courage, I plant that seed into anyone listening, anyone watching, to have the courage to fail at whatever it is that you want to do. There's a strong chance in this life that you may not get to to do what you want to do, but you might as well. Jim Carrey said this once, definitely was an influence on me, you know, as a kid for comedy, but definitely as like an adult of like, since he's definitely been connected with like the universe and stuff like that and spirituality. He says you can fail at something that you don't want to do, so you might as well fail at doing something that you actually want to do, you know. So this is having that courage, and that's the struggle, that's the pain that I'm willing to endure. I'm willing to go through the struggle of failure, the pain of failure, of figuring out that what I was doing for so many years or whatever very well might have been ineffective to what I'm doing. And then having the pivot moment, as Ryan Clark and all the, you know, and his crew talk about, that pivot moment where you decide that you're going to go in this direction and things are going to be uplifting for you. It's going to happen, I assure you. You know, trust God and His universe, and you'd be surprised, man, like what happens for you. And everything happens for you. It's not happening to you. Everything is happening for you. And it's just, everybody's just a part of your journey. Some for a short period of time, some for a long period of time. And you'll find out who the lifetimers are. And I think that's the interesting part of the journey, is figuring out who the lifetimers are. Some people are going to be there for a lifetime. Very small. Very small, you know, in comparison to what you might anticipate. But be grateful, man. Be grateful for the journey. Be grateful for the failures. Be grateful for the accomplishments. And understand that you're not your failures and you're not your accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? You're the light that shines through. And don't attach yourself to anything. And just appreciate everything. You know what I'm saying? Attach to nothing and appreciate everything. And gratitude. And gratitude is definitely something that I've had to learn to value along this journey that I'm on. It's definitely made things a lot more digestible in life. That was probably meant to take me out, in my mind. So I thought. But the pain and the struggle that I'm willing to endure is simply the pain and the struggle of failing.
Who's the person in your life that makes you laugh the hardest? The person in my life that makes me laugh the hardest, more than likely, would be, I'd say my best friend, Bird. Bird is probably, we probably laugh the hardest because of not because we were the funniest, but more so because of what we've overcome together. As brothers, you know, throughout the military, throughout just life, manhood, fatherhood, all that stuff, you know, the things we've been able to endure, to overcome, to take our pain and be able to laugh at it. But we've done a lot of things together, and so many moments have been created from that. But yeah, I was thinking about it. If there was anybody that, you know, probably makes me laugh the hardest, it's definitely when me and Bird link up, and we just reminisce about a lot of the old shit. And I can throw Pablo in there too. And definitely Karumbe, you know, from like the podcast days. All of us were in the Air Force together. But if I had to pick one person that probably makes me laugh the hardest, it'd probably be my best friend Bird.
How do you adapt your communication style when interacting with different personality types or cultural backgrounds? Well, you know, I've said before on here, I was a fucking chameleon, so trying to fold to whatever I was around. You know, if I'm around a lot of people speak Spanish, trying to throw my little bit of, you know, my pequeño amount of of Spanish that I could speak just to fit in. be validated. But now it's more of being a great listener when I don't know shit, and knowing how to ask questions effectively. So adapting to a communication, like especially in a situation, let's say we speak a different language, I will, I do my best to I study once a week about Spanish, that is. I try to, because I believe like the people that I come in contact with the most tend to speak Spanish. That don't speak English, that is, so like when I go home to Miami or something like that and visit my best friend and the family, I sometimes I'm in situations where I'm inside certain restaurants or what have you, and the primary language for them is actually Spanish, but it's enough to make it, you don't be like, well, you're in America, you need to speak English. It's not that fucking deep, man. It's not that fucking deep. It's like, all right, they're trying to make a living just the way I'm trying to make a living, and we can work this thing out. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure something out. As long as we figure out that I ordered the damn churrasco and I say churrasco, skirt steak, this shit here, I'm okay. There's nothing to be frustrated, pissed off because you don't speak the primary language of living in America. I'm not one of those people. I've seen people, I've worked with people that have been that way. Like, you're in America, you speak English. That type of shit. And it's not that deep, man. But as long as we're able to work together and then having grace, you know what I'm saying? Like, not fucking with somebody because their English isn't that great and then they fuck up something they say in English. It's no different than definitely me butchering some stuff in Spanish, not using the right gender for certain words, where, what I'm saying, like you're using the mask when it's actually the femme. On certain terms, you know what I mean? And that makes us human, that truly makes us human. Something we can laugh at later. We don't need to tear each other down because of it. It's just something funny. It just sounds funny. And that's another thing, the beauty of comedy. It makes us all laugh at each other and our differences and, our insecurities and, the things we're great at, the things we're horrible at. And, comedy can, kind of bring us together on that, as long as it's not done in a malicious manner. But to be able to laugh at ourselves, but engaging in like different cultural like backgrounds, like for instance, if some of us that, obviously in high school and middle school, we picked up a lot of like slang talk, you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes in professional settings, some of us can get comfortable, and we'll speak that slang shit in a military professional thing. And it's like, when it's just us, you know what I'm saying, that are like majority of us all speak that, yeah, it's all good. But obviously if it's on some, you got your main boss or whatever, a general or some shit in town, just understanding how to communicate with them, being able to communicate using, say, proper English, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make us better because we may speak proper English or better because we speak slang. It's just language, you know what I'm saying? It's like music, If you don't understand the music, if you don't understand the language of hip hop, you're not gonna get it. You're gonna think like, what the fuck is this? But once you understand the language, it's like, oh shit, this is dope, man. I like how he did that. Country music, reggaeton, all of it, you know what I'm saying? Salsa, bachata, all of it. If you understand the language, everything makes more sense. It's like trying to understand a game. For those who don't understand the game of football, they have a different perspective of the ones that actually value football and understand the game. So it's like us learning how to learn the language. Be willing to learn the language. Have the patience and the grace to speak to someone that may not necessarily come from your background, and just see how they view life, man. You'd be surprised what you may learn, when you go into a conversation with your cup empty versus your cup full. I'm not able to take on anything with my cup full. I think I know everything already. So I'm not gonna learn anything from you because I know everything already. I don't need to talk to you because I have it all figured out. But if I come in with my cup empty, I'm able to receive the gems that you have. You know what I'm saying? We might be talking about the same shit, but you're gonna say something in a different perspective that I'm able to receive it now. versus what I thought, and I thought I had it all figured out. You know, we could watch the same movie, listen to the same song, and you may point out something that I did not catch. You know what I'm saying? But the interesting thing about life, man, is that right there. I believe that is the interesting thing about life, is that perspective is everything. So it's not to judge anybody. Maybe they speak the way you do, maybe they don't. And be willing to listen, you know, and the fact that we have different cultural backgrounds, like especially when it comes to like the holiday stuff and, you know, certain dishes that are brought in possibly a white home versus a black home versus a Latin home, and definitely versus, you know, like an Asian home or something like that. And you just be surprised. That's just the cultural differences. It doesn't make one either, you know, better than the other. Just differences of how they go about doing things. What things are done at, you know, a Jewish wedding. What things are done at a traditionally, you know, Black American wedding. What's done at a, you know, a Latin wedding. What's done in, you know, at a white wedding. You know, there's different things, different styles of how you respond to things. How funerals are done in certain families compared to other families, and being able to just listen, like having that grace, man, like giving people the grace of sharing their story without judgment, and realizing what you may learn from them when you just listen and not believe you got everything figured out, like your life is the right way. It's bullshit. You know, to me, it's bullshit. It's simply bullshit to think that you have it all figured out, to think that your way is the only way to live in this life. A billion people on earth, but your way is the right way. You talk, yeah, entitlement. You talk about ego. That to me is the clear definition of ego and entitlement, where you live when there's a billion people on this earth, and you believe that how you're living, what you're doing, is the right way and the only way. To each its own. You know, that's how I feel about it. To each its own. But to be able to embrace the people around us, you know what I'm saying, and just listen. You just be surprised what you may learn, man, from the most rarest personalities that you've been able to come in contact with. It's not something that you see on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, I like to engage with people like that. I like to just sit and listen, man, and anything that's different from my own background and stuff like that, and not dismissing my own background, understanding what my background is, and then but be able to embrace another person's heritage, another person's cultural differences, and without judgment. It's like, okay, this is how you guys do this. All right. Oh, all right. You put raisins in that? We don't put raisins in that. Why are raisins in that? You know, those, you know, funny shit, you know, that you'll see. But it's just differences, you know, like, damn, you gotta put hot sauce on everything, huh? That's what you're doing? You do that? Some people do that, and it's not put to one particular group of people. Or you make your ramen that way. You call it ramen. Shit, we call it oodles and noodles. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. It literally is. This packet of noodles is being referred to in two different ways. It doesn't matter, you know, how it's prepared. Some people use the packet and soy sauce, and that's it. Some people packet soy sauce, vinegar, ketchup, you know, like you making yak, as we say back home, you know what I'm saying, in Salisbury and, you know, in Virginia and stuff, you know, it's, our family used to make yak. So how sometimes when we would make our oodles and noodles, it would be the packet, the soy sauce, the vinegar, and the ketchup. I started to put, nowadays before I started like keto and shit, now it's the half of the packet, because that sodium is for real, soy sauce and hot sauce, and then some cayenne. Put some cayenne pepper on there. Cayenne, of course, but yeah, I like to call it cayenne. Put the cayenne on it, and it's fire. And then there's people that actually put egg in their fucking like noodles and shit. I would never thought to do it. I mean, it's on the packet, you know, you can see that, and there's like an egg or some shit on the packet, but I never put no fucking eggs inside my ramen or oodles or noodles. Whatever your synonym is, you get the point. But embracing the differences, embracing the differences of each other, being able to learn a new thing, you know, be able to listen and be like, oh man, I didn't know this, so now I can adapt this. I can take what I'm already doing and then learn from you what you shared with me and be like, all right, cool, now I can do that. You know, I don't put myself in a box. And I love being around people who don't put themselves in a box. I also don't discriminate on those who put themselves in a box. It's just understanding the differences and like embracing people. Learn to love unconditionally, essentially. Learn to love unconditionally, allowing people to be whatever it is they want to be, regardless of their race, whatever they're into. Letting them find their own person. And you'd be surprised how many people feel pressured to be a certain way because they're a certain color, because they're a certain height, because they're a certain gender, whatever it is. Allow that person to be whatever they want to be. And just practice unconditional love, you know? Not unconditional tolerance, but unconditional love. All right, that's it. Yeah, have fun, as I often do, sharing the first thing that comes on my head when I see these, these topics and all that stuff. But thank you to everybody that stayed this long in the episode to listen, watch, whatever your forum is that you're being able to, to check out the show. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that. Share with your people. Thank you for the people who continuously have the patience to listen to me say a lot of shit that just runs off my brain. But I'm Romy Mac. This is Ask Rome, and I'm out. Good night, kids.